Okay, let's take a look here. Converting homes to shares and notes into cash deposits. I don't care what the note was converted into. Once it's been converted, it no longer exists and therefore cannot be enforceable without the recording of a lien and a judgment. So we have pointer here. We have interest in this case, actual case, from 7/30/22 back to 1/1/10. That's 4,593 days. They're using a 367.67 per annum, which is strange. Nobody knows, so they're picking up extra days there. That's unethical and unjust. Nonetheless, if you divide the number of years per annum into the number of days, you get 12.49 installments going one way. You get 12.54 going the other way. I'm going to show you why. What we did is we went from 1/1/10, which was provided to us by the lender's alleged servicer, and we calculated a per diem of 109.28 that they gave us, and that took us out 4,610 days. It doesn't show it here, but it took us out to, I believe, 8/17/2022. The demand for payoff showed 1/1/10 to 7/30. So what we did is we came back the other way with the actual days they showed and calculated that at 110.5 per diem. Nice round number. And you can see that gave us a difference in numbers there. Okay, 507, 531, and 503, 503, 843. So this line right here is verified. The assumptions being made on this one going back is a contra account, sinking bond fund. One account going up, the other going down. They negate or cancel each other out at the end of a term. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about a difference here of 17.57 days. That would be the difference between 8/17 or 8/16, 8/17 and 7/30/22, which is what the lender shows. And the difference in the values were $3,653. But that sure doesn't look like dollars, does it? Looks like round number 365.3. That looks like 10 years. Anyway, let's see what they're up to. Let's go to the next screen. Here we go. So we have the same spreadsheet that we showed you on the previous page with one exception. I've added the dates. I showed you the dates going one way, 7/30 to 1/1/10. The other way, they're going 8/16/22 back to 2/1/10 based on the lender servicer, alleged servicer's numbers. And that shows 109.28 per diem. Coming back was 110.50. But if we subtract these out to verify our work, let's see what we get. We had a difference here. We have 4,595 days going one way and 4,610, 57 going the other way. When I say that, you got to imagine one train going north, one train going south, and both of them wash each other out with the exception of maybe a little bit of distance more. One train traveled to another station. It's to zero out both balances or both distances traveled. So we said that the difference between our two numbers from January 2010 out to 2022 and then from 2022 back to 2010, the difference was can't read the 3,655, and I said that looked like 10 years, right? Well, that's if we subtract. If we add both these balances together, we get 1,011,574.92. You see that? And if you take both these and add them together, you're going to come up with a net of about 17.57 days. This is tight, folks. This is all tight. And what's most important is, bing, 109.28 was affirmed. And the value 503,815.28 was affirmed. And we affirmed the combination of these both these numbers, 1,011,374.92. That was affirmed. And what does that tell us? I'll tell you in a second. Now, if you're following my presentations, you should know by now nothing is shocking, at least not to me. Here we're looking at a payoff demand escrow account, and I want to share what we found. These are fees. Pointer. Thank you, Maestro. These are fees. We have fees of $109, $886, $102, $2,477 and change, $650, $161.35. And then we took the liberty of aging the pool by 1 year, which is mandatory for conversion. We then adjusted back 180.5 days for a 1031 exchange and an adjusted 26.5, which we picked up in other states, specifically the District of Columbia, and tied out at 7 days as called for by the Department of Treasury. Remember that our calculation went from 1110 to 8122, but theirs went from their per diem took us all the way out to 817. So we had another 16 and a half days I had to factor in. So I factored in another 6.5 days. What is unsettling here, and I just gave it away, I said days. These are supposed to be fees. These are escrow fees listed on the payoff demand, but look how they line up. Making the assumption for aging, 1031, 26.5, 7, and the 16.5 days they left off, I come up with just the right number of days divided into the balance showing on this demand for payoff for interest. It ties out to 109.28, which is their per diem. So the fees totaling $4,610 attributed to the family that's being foreclosed on and whose home went to sale, that $4,610 that they were assessed in fees for a payoff demand actually works out to all the interest that was due, $503,000, $813.28. What does this mean? If it's attributed to them, they paid it. And if that's interest and it was paid, what did they foreclose on? That is your controversy. All right, now. So we've shown you what's going on. Someone out there is saying, please, I have to have more information. Where's the substance? Somebody show me. Who goofed? Where's the substance? Well, as I told you, our days calculating from start to finish are the aggregate number of fees. Can you see these fees? Those are fees. Fee simple? I don't think so. So what you can verify are all the fees with the exception of the adjustments, which is 180, 1 year, 26.5, 7, and the 16.5 days that they miscalculated. And it comes up to just the right total number of days at 109.28 to give us that amount, which shows right here for interest due. See that? That's what's taking place, folks. So, to recap, when you get a payoff statement that shows the interest-bearing account matching our number, and our number is based on the per diem and the total number of these fees, that means something very deceptive is going on. And that means whoever is the party responsible for the collection had to do this for a reason. If they had standing to bring a foreclosure, they would not have to come up with these kind of artifices and schemes. And in this case, we have the number that you see here, total interest due, charged to the consumer as fees, but backdoored for the amount of interest due. And when you consider two accounts, contra accounts, one going north, one going south, one at a slightly different amount, different days, the total of the interest and the other account equals that number right there. So we know that this number here and this number here, based on the per diem, has been fabricated. It's synthetic. It was manufactured, which again begs the question, if the party bringing a foreclosure had standing, why would they have to go to this length? Now let's wrap this up. Non-recognition rule. It's a provision. Equity in law. Provision of the U.S. Treasury Code, which provides that a gain or loss shall not be recognized if the requirements of that provision are met. Non-recognition provisions relevant to this section include, but are not limited to, 26 U.S. Code sections 552, 551, 554, 555, 561, 721, 731, 1031, 1033, and 1036. What was canceled converted to another consideration and therefore can never, ever be enforced or reintroduced. There is no note. The note was canceled, and that deed transferred your title into trust to a trustee under the name of a nominee. You have all the prima facie evidence there you need. M. Solomon, thank you for joining us. Reach me at 202-550-8364 or secondarytradedesk@gmail.com. Secondarytradedesk@gmail.com. Take care.